Good evening and welcome to another episode of Absolute Bedlam Podcast. Hope everyone is well. Um, Not really a fan of starting these podcasts with weather reports, but does anyone have a fucking clue what's going on in the UK at the moment? Because it's all over the show today, isn't it, Vix?
Just a bit,
Yeah.
just a bit.
1 minute is showering, the next minute is sunny, and yeah, it's just a lot. I'm
It
glad I
is.
drive because I can just put my windows up. But yeah, all good. Yeah, how's your day been? You all right?
Yes, not been too bad. Just decided to come see my parents and see the animals and have a chill day.
Absolutely. That's how it's done. Not bad for a Tuesday.
No.
Good stuff. Right, so I ask, sorry, not we ask. Every podcast guest gets the same couple of questions to start with. So I want to know for you, Vicky, how school was.
School was a pain, I'm not gonna lie. I was a rebel. I bunked classes and stuff, I'm not gonna lie, regret that. But I always was also very badly bullied,
Hmm.
which was reasons why I was a rebel to try and escape the bullies.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Can you remember the naughtiest thing either you did or one of your friends did at school?
Um, I flooded girl toilets.
Yeah.
I literally tissue bombs on the ceiling and then tissue bombs into the everything,
Yep.
filled it up, and then left and walked out.
Don't think I've had that answer yet, but yeah, I remember people like clumping it together and launching it. And then one day, like 6 months later, it would either stay there forever or it would fall down and hit someone in the head.
Yep.
Yeah, Moaning Myrtle vibes.
Oh yeah,
Love that.
100%.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so um I'm trying to think like how I can sort of fit this in because I'm quite grateful, and this sounds a bit mad considering this is like probably 60 to 70% of a music podcast at this point. I'm quite glad that I don't actually have to like listen to a band this week because I've always left that to the last minute.
Yeah.
And like I had a guy on recently from Spitting Teeth, if you've heard of them.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Um, and I kind of speed ran their EP on the way to the recording place that I go to. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not giving this guy like any time to like actually absorb their songs. And sometimes, you know, to do your research and stuff, I do have a bit of a habit of leaving that to the last minute because sometimes I book these podcasts like 3 months, 4 months out, and I
Mm.
want to make sure that the music's like fresh in my head. But obviously, with you, you are also a fellow gig goer, and
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that you're one of the most, not extreme, but the most committed Instagram account, at least I've seen, where we'll obviously get into your schedule and stuff, but how did you sort of become this person of like Vickz and gigs and just go into so many gigs and becoming sort of a bit of a public figure, I suppose, in some respects?
So the start of my love for gigs started at my very first concert, which was Linkin Park back in 2008, and I instantly fell in love with the vibe, the atmosphere, the sound, just the whole crowd singing along. And from there, I started finding more gigs to try and attend to with some friends who I had from school.
Hmm.
So there wasn't very many. So when I hit at a certain age, I was like, right, I'm gonna start going to more gigs. And then I fell in love with photography,
Hmm.
where I then found some bands who I was seeing quite a lot often. And then that's where Vickz photography came about.
Hmm.
Started shooting pop punk bands to then go into like metalcore, deathcore. And then more recently, where I had to find a job and then I became a full-time mum,
Hmm.
going to gigs more often is where I find my respite and my break. And it's also where if I've got the chance to go to these gigs and support them, I'll go.
Yeah.
And whether it be in Manchester, whether it be Leeds, whether it be London, I will be there if I can, and I will.
Hmm. Can you drive?
No,
So
no,
you're
it's all public
reliant
transport.
reliant on public transport. Yeah, and you seem to make it
mainly
work.
coaches. Yeah.
Yeah. We can also talk about the fact that we were meant to record this last night, but you actually went to a gig.
It was a gig I
It's
totally
like,
and utterly forgot about.
that's all right. It's all good.
Um, so yeah, that gig was really good actually.
Mm,
Not much of a crowd, so I'm glad I went.
mm,
So at least there was one more extra person there. And yeah, it was really good to catch up with a couple of bands.
mm.
Because last time I saw them was with a Ghost Fest, and one of them was quite a while before that, so it was good to catch up.
Yeah. Do you plan your gigs quite a lot in terms of who you're going to see? Or like one thing that I really remember really well was when I'd like turned 17 and some of my friends learned to drive and got cars and their parents massively helped them out with financials and stuff. I'd go to a place kind of near me about an hour away called Yeovil, and that was where everything was going on when I was
Hmm.
17. This was like nearly 19 years ago. But I loved that sense of like I literally don't know who Cobra Starship are, and I'm just gonna go there and like have it. And I'd seen so many crazy bands, like All Time Low played like the 200 capacity venue and Anti-Flag and saw the Gallows on their Orchestra of Wolves, I think that's what it's called, the album.
Oh yeah.
And I was absolutely in love with this. Like, I've literally got no idea what I'm about to walk into. Whereas, as time's gone on, I've been quite sort of selective over the gigs that I go to. Do
Hmm.
you understand? Like, are you one way or the other, or are you quite
So
set
I
now?
have a diary
Okay.
specifically on gigs. Because a lot of bands I know and I like the support, whether it be anywhere in the UK, I write them down and then I specifically write them down so that I can look for a time reminder and look
Mm.
at travel.
Yeah.
So the money I have aside that goes towards travel, I can look for cheap alternatives and go that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Um. Okay. So, how much? I don't need to know specifics, but like when you get paid, say you get paid like an amount a month. How
Mhm.
much of that, like in terms of percentage, goes towards this sort of hobby of yours, which is obviously a big passion of yours?
So my monthly pay goes towards obviously housing a
Yeah,
child, and then the percentage I have left is about I'd say about 40% of that goes towards myself, which will
yeah,
be on travel and gig tickets.
mm,
I don't like spending money on myself at all. I
yeah,
like to help the gig scene that keeps me going in life.
yeah. Because with gigs, it's not just about going to the gig and leaving, it's about potentially booking a hotel, eating, getting there in terms of trains or buses or
Yeah,
coaches. So a lot of people seem to forget that. I find like people that go to like two gigs a year, they don't realize that there's actually like a whole different aspect to it with logistics and stuff.
yeah. So luckily I've got friends up and down the UK, so I'm able to like crash out, or
Yeah.
I usually then overnight coach back
Mm.
to London. So I've done Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle, and Liverpool where I've got the overnight coach home. Straight off the gig, straight to the station, coach home.
Yeah.
I don't eat very much. I'm a very fussy picky eater.
Okay.
And my drinks specifically are usually Monster or Red
Yeah.
Bull or even just a Yazoo. My coach,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Chocolate yazoo?
No banana.
Banana. Okay.
Chocolate second. Strawberries are
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. All good. Um, how did you feel when Tesco meal deals went from £3 to £3.40 to now £3.60? And do you have a club card?
I do have a club card
Thanks for
specifically for
that.
meal deals.
Yeah.
Again, because of where I go for gigs and stuff, so as soon as I get off the coach, I will go to find a Tesco and grab a meal deal. That keeps me going until I'm literally on my way back home. Because
Yeah.
again, I don't eat very much. So
Yeah.
I was glad when it keeps going up and up and up, but
Mm.
I've noticed it's been with it going up, there's more of a selection these days,
Yeah.
especially with the snacks and especially with the drinks.
Yeah.
So really, it's not too bad. I can't complain. Especially when you can get like a massive coffee, Starbucks
Yeah.
one, or the smoothies, which are like £3 on its own anyway.
Yeah. Red Bulls as well. The big one of
Yeah,
that is like £2.90 by itself.
yeah,
So
and that's part of the meal deal. So basically,
yeah.
you're getting a Red Bull, but you're getting 10p, well, not 10p. 60p, 70p
60p, yeah.
for everything else.
Yeah, why not? It's rude not to.
Yeah,
But yeah, all good. You've managed to grab the very, very new thing that hopefully this episode will come out in a couple of weeks, the Tesco birthday cake sandwich.
I did. I was very lucky enough to go to my local Tesco and they had just restocked it. So I managed to grab one. And my honest review, it's like eating Victoria Sponge cake.
Yeah.
It is really nice. I highly recommend. It is just, yeah.
Is the Tesco that you found it at a big Tesco?
It's it's not a big Tesco and it's not a small Tesco. It's like a
Okay.
in between.
Because I'm now in this weird moment where I'm like, after I record this, I'm actually willing to like drive 20 miles. And I think to myself, what the fuck am I doing? Like, one of my friends is Blue Van Man, who's quite a big YouTuber, and he
Mm.
messaged me earlier like, I can't fucking find it. I've found like gone to three different Tesco's in my area, which is Loughborough, which is like near Leicester. And he's like, oh, the things we fucking do, Ben. Honestly.
Well, on the Tesco app, if you search for sandwiches, you can check if it's in stock.
Okay.
I've come to realise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm a bit more let's show up and see what's what. Um, can you remember like in your prime slash sort of heyday of how many gigs you would go to a year and has it sort of changed year on year?
Um, yes, every year has varied. So last year I did 80 gigs. I think back in 2012, I did probably about 100 shows. That was when I was in my photography era and I was living off my EMA from college.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
no proper, well, I had a job, it was like part time. So it was like part time job, college EMA, and just going to as many gigs as I could.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
EMA,
so
what a shout. Wow.
I'm my age now.
Yeah. When you sort of apply for jobs and you send CVs over and there's like a little bit of a bio about you and your life, do you really sort of exaggerate the fact that you are quite, because a lot of people put like, I like to go to gigs, I like going walking, and I like to read books. And in reality, they read like two books a year. They
Mm.
walk to work because they have to walk to work, and they occasionally go to like Wembley to watch Foo Fighters. Whereas you're obviously a sort of boots on the ground correspondent at this point, and you're almost like part of the venue's furniture.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, on my CV, it does specifically say keen photographer, gig goer, love nature walks. I do love my nature walks because it's the best mindset reset you can get. Just walking out in nature, whether you have music on or not,
Mm,
go and find somewhere peaceful and just lay down, look at the sky, look at the clouds. Just go and sit somewhere and just enjoy the breeze and
mm.
just take deep breaths because it's the best mind reset you can do.
Yeah,
But yes, I have been questioned on my hobbies on my CV when I got a job many years ago. They're like, so keen gig goer, what kind of gigs? Then I had to explain it was metalcore. They're like, what's that?
yeah,
That was fun.
yeah. What is a sleep token and what is a hardcore music? It's like, oh, for God's sake, get with
Yep.
it. Yeah, awesome. How would you say your sort of routine and schedule for live music has impacted your mental health in a positive way?
Truthfully, it is the best possible way I can imagine because 2018 I actually tried to end my life. But through a band releasing an album and a song on the day, I was in hospital. And then announcing a small show, I went for it, and that's where I found my love for live music because, again, because it's like, you know what, I've met some new people, they were amazing, I had the best time, I danced, sung, and the lead singer gave me the most biggest hug because he's a great mental health advocate.
Hmm.
And from there, going to more and more live shows and talking to them about my moments back in 2018. The amount of people go, I'm so glad you're still here. You're the scene queen that keeps people safe, caring, and the love that you give the bands and people is what keeps us going as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, The love I
Yeah.
get is what keeps me going.
Hmm. Do you give yourself like time to reflect and reset? Like if you're in the middle of like a sort of, say potentially you're following a band on tour around the UK, do you like go to a hotel and be like, fucking hell, this is, because I know like sometimes when you're just back to back, like, and you're really into your commitments and stuff, like I'm really into Pokemon Go, for example,
Hmm.
you're kind of just in it and you don't really have time to sort of have any hindsight, if that makes sense. Whereas,
Yeah,
you've actually made like a positive impact on the music scene and, people you've met, become your
yeah.
friends and, all that sort of stuff.
Well, I have just done 4 weekends straight of gigs, along with a couple this week, and it's got to the point now I'm having a break now
Yeah.
to focus on myself.
Mm.
Just to reset my body, reset my muscles from constantly standing and jumping and dancing. And like
Yeah.
that, I've got a fractured finger, so I need to focus on
Yeah, I saw
myself.
that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a couple of weeks off, 'cause it's summer holidays, and I'm with my son, just go and enjoy life as a
Yeah.
mum, as a gig mum.
Yeah. Yeah. No, fair enough. If you don't mind me asking, how old is your child and do you have plans to take them to gigs?
Yes, he is 9.5, and he is a big metal lover, just like his mum.
Oh, yeah.
He does want to go to gigs, but he has autism and ADHD,
Okay.
so sometimes some things are so overwhelming for him that it's just he's not ready. He wants to, but he's just not ready. So I'm
Got you.
hoping maybe a couple of years' time we'll do
Yeah.
it.
If you've got like a pair of active noise cancelling headphones, I find that really helps.
Yes,
And
he's got the Alpine ones, and they're the best ear defenders I've ever known for kids. Even for myself, I've had to use them a couple of
yeah,
times.
because me and my son Casper are planning to do some more festivals probably next year now because we got invited to 2000 Trees, but we just couldn't do it on short notice. But I'm quite into the idea of like going to like family festivals and it's not like 18 plus, just every other word
Yeah,
is a swear word. And obviously, that comes with lots of people that just want to get absolutely hammered and they don't really care what's going on around them. They just want to get annihilated in a field. So obviously that
yeah.
can be
That's what I'm
quite
looking at.
challenging.
Teddy Rocks. Looking
Yeah.
at for next year, my boy.
Yeah.
Uh,
That'd be
yeah,
cool.
might be doing that one next year with him.
Yeah. It's always a good time.
But,
I've been there probably about 4 or 5 times now. Two of them I've helped out and this year just gone, we did press. And that was great. We had a good laugh there. There's always a need for photographers there as well, but I get a bit funny sometimes with like going to a gig and working, and
hmm.
sometimes I just want to go there and just enjoy and not have to worry
Yeah,
about like fire exits and taking photos and interviews and so yeah, I suppose go there first time just as a visitor, and obviously if you enjoy the vibe, then I might be able to help you get
yeah,
in sort of 2027, which sounds mad now. Like saying 2027 out loud is can't believe
yeah.
it's near the end of 2025 already, but yeah, awesome.
No.
All good. Do you follow certain bands around on tour, or are you quite sort of scattergun?
I do follow like Barry tomorrow. I've
Yeah.
because there's a group of us. With a City Goose Squad, we call each other. And with us lot, we travel around the UK to see this band. Because we're like literally like a family. The band have got to know us really well. And we just get
Hmm.
to hang out and just chill. And other bands, if there's a tour, I will try and catch them at least maybe 1 or 2 shows, maybe three if I can, around the country, just to show my support and show that there's someone familiar they're comfortable with at the show
Hmm.
if they're in a new city.
Is there like a couple of really solid music venues locally to you that are like constantly delivering?
I'd say the Dev and I'd say for Camden Town, I'd say the Dev, Underworld, and the Black Heart are
Yeah.
three staple points of Camden Town venues, which are always on point and amazing. But I'd say Signature Brew in Haggerston, that's becoming a great venue. I'm enjoying to be at.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll say them.
Hmm. Yeah, fair enough. It's good to have a couple of like mainstay ones so that you're not just constantly sort of flitting around and like I don't know if you know where Weymouth is, but it's literally the bottom of like the UK. And sometimes we get like a really big band come through, like Funeral for a Friend. But a
Mm,
lot of the times we have to travel to like Southampton or Bristol or further, and
yeah,
we get left out quite a lot. But I understand why, like logistically, if we don't provide the band with a sold out show, it's not probably financially viable to do it.
yeah. I've
But yeah.
noticed Torquay becoming a thing now,
Hmm.
with more and more shows being announced down that way,
Yeah.
which is
Okay. Yeah.
pretty cool.
That's awesome. Um, can you suggest any guests to come on this podcast of people that you would be really interested in sort of hearing from locally?
Um, I would say Laz or Morton from the London Metal Coalition.
Okay.
I highly recommend them because Laz does UK Death Dealers and London Metal Coalition with Morton, and they put on yearly 2-day festivals in London. It's all about the upcoming bands, like metal bands, heavy metal bands, metalcore. It's a mixture of all. Um, and yeah, I highly recommend them. I think they deserve a lot more
Yeah.
support and more people knowing about them and what
Hmm.
they do.
Have you experienced anyone like locally that's kind of blown up and you've seen them go through the sort of channels? Like one of my friends got to see the Arctic Monkeys play a Battle of the Bands, and
Wow.
then, they are now playing arenas pretty much consistently.
I would say arenas. Well, I've seen Borough tomorrow
Yeah.
play small venues and now playing arenas and stuff. I'd say that's probably the biggest band
Hmm.
out there. So I've been seeing since 2009 in Camden Barfly, which is now Assembly,
Hmm.
and they're now doing arenas and
Yeah.
whatnot. So yeah,
Have you ever seen Wheatus live at all?
I have, yes.
I like how sort of modular they are with the venues that they play because they're supporting Bowling for Soup. I think they might have actually just done this at Wembley, and they can go from like a 100 capacity room to playing like an acoustic set to
Hmm.
playing a 500 capacity room, and then all of a sudden they're playing an arena, and they seem to be very versatile with the way they approach their gigs, and they do something quite interesting where they don't actually have a set list and people just
No.
shout out songs.
Yep.
I quite like that chaos and that sort of manic energy that they provide just from doing that. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite cool to see how they sort of fit in to certain sort of sets and certain lineups.
Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
awesome.
100%.
Nice guys as well, which is always helpful. Have you ever thought of playing music yourself? You mentioned that you're a photographer. So was that sort of, did that come first and then music, or was that a result of supply and demand?
So I got my Canon 600D back in 2012. At the same time, my friend sent me a bass, or gave it to me, and I tried to play bass. I could play a couple of songs, but it was proven more and more difficult because I'm quite small. I'm only
Okay.
5'1". Um, but having that massive bass, I was just a bit
Yeah.
silly, and I thought I'm not going to get anywhere. I'll just focus on photography, and I gave the bass away.
I'd recommend a three-quarter scale because my son Casper's quite tall and he's got a three-quarter scale bass and he's obviously going to outgrow it at some point.
Hmm.
But they are a little bit less sort of real estate. But I suppose if you've sort of made a decision that you're not going to do that, then fair enough. But I
I have been
do,
recommended
yeah,
them, so I may look into it and get back
yeah.
into it. At the
Mm.
moment, I'm more focusing on getting back into photography.
I find with bass as well, because I've been playing bass like 11 years now, you can kind of pick it up and put it down, and you're not like going to lose all of the sort of skill.
Yeah.
Whereas guitar, it feels like this constant, like I need to practice for 4, 5 hours a day to get better, and I need to learn whole songs all the way through, and
Hmm.
but yeah, that's all good. Right, so do you get recognized at many gigs?
Yes, I do. It's becoming more and more apparent more recently. Since my Instagram's now starting to more blow up and everything, any show I go to now, I'm recognized. I even have people coming up to me wherever I go around the country. It's like, oh, you're Vickz Gigs, right? Like,
Weird,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah,
It's a really bizarre feeling.
yeah,
Even bands as well. Hey Vic, how you doing? You got
yeah,
people like,
yeah.
how do the bands know you?
Mm,
It's a weird feeling. And at first I was like, this is crazy. I don't know what how do people know me and everything? And it's got like people are sharing my name and talking about me and what I do and everything and how I care for fans at shows, and helping promoters and everything. So it's got to the point where I am very recognizable now,
yeah,
which is a crazy feeling, but it's great.
yeah. Do you think that's helped with your confidence? Because initially I imagine that was quite overwhelming, but now it's just sort of part of the experience.
Yeah, 100%. It's getting more. It's making me more confident to go and shows by myself now.
Yeah,
If I was going to a show and I didn't know anyone, I won't go or just sell my ticket.
yeah,
But it's got to the point where if the bands are playing, I'm going by myself. I'll know someone there, or they'll know me, and
mm.
yeah, so it's all good now.
Do you just have like hundreds of group chats like for specific gigs and specific bands?
I've got lots of different group chats through gigs, one through uh friends. I've got probably about 5 group chats on the go.
Oh, we've got the dog back. Right, I'm going to try and grab the dog. So hopefully people on YouTube can say, ah, there we go. Hello. Say hello. This is Lola. She's so scatty. She's so funny. She just bursts into rooms like head first. She doesn't really know where she is, bless her. Awesome. Supreme CBD. Okay, this isn't just a normal ad read. This is stuff that I genuinely believe in. And as you can see, I'm using quite a bit of it at the moment. Are you getting enough sleep? Is your sleep hygiene good? Is your overall anxiety at a good level? Is it manageable? These are the questions that you should be asking yourself. So for me, I think Supreme CBD is the best in class. I've used other companies previously, and their oils and their edibles are just absolutely fantastic compared to other brands. The bears are super popular, and they're currently doing an offer which is unbelievable. If you use my code Bedlam40, you can get this offer for over just under £65. And the size of the tub that they are selling with this bundle is 5 times the size of this. So with that, you'll get a 3,000 milligram oil, 3,200 milligram tub of bears, and you'll get a free gift. So if you use the code Bedlam40, you'll get that for just over £65. Also, everything on their site is 40% off if you use my code, which is Bedlam40. And this stuff is just absolutely fantastic. I'm genuinely really surprised that I'm getting on as well as I am with this. And I'm not being paid to advertise this. So yeah, you can get them in different strengths, depending on your mood, depending on what you think you need to function. So thank you very much for supporting the show. And back to it. Absolute bedlam. Ozzy Osbourne's obviously recently passed away. If people are watching this like 6, 7 years after this has been recorded, then this isn't news to anyone. Can you name sort of top three or top five favorite songs from either Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath?
Yeah, so Dreamer, Mama, I'm Coming Home, Crazy Train, No More Tears,
Yep,
and Park at the Moon.
Bark at the
Top
Moon.
five.
Bit of J.K. Lee. Love that.
Yeah,
Have you met a guy called Johann Saul at all? He was in a band called The Miscreated, and it was previously called Your Future Is Metal.
I recognise the name.
Yeah,
I don't recognise the band I've seen.
he's a ridiculous guitar player, and his band recently did Bark at the Moon as a cover. And I didn't realize how ridiculous of a guitar player he was.
Oh, I could
He's
try
a
and check
bit
that
of
out
a
after this.
he's quite modest.
I
But
like it.
yeah, I'll try and get a link to it because I think it was like an Instagram story that someone had, the thing where someone
Yeah,
videos something and then they tag them in it and then they re-share the story and stuff. But yeah, I was quite impressed by that. But yeah, for me, I reckon Bark at the Moon, Hellraiser.
Yes.
Um, No More Tears is unreal. That's proper like Zach Wilde in his prime. I actually really like an album called Black Rain, and if you haven't heard that, I would highly suggest checking that out for Ozzy.
Hmm.
I also really like War Pigs by Black Sabbath because that's just an absolute banger.
That is a banger from start to finish,
Um,
100%.
what else do I like? Children of the Grave,
Yes.
and I still need to actually watch their video of the Back to the Beginning show.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I'm not gonna lie, the Ozzy Osbourne Back to the Beginning show where Youngblood did changes.
mm,
Oh my goodness. The goosebumps, oh, blew me away.
yeah, he goes for it, doesn't he? Every
He
cover he does,
does.
he really did a David Bowie thing, didn't he, recently
Yeah.
as well? So yeah, he really puts his heart into the covers and he wants to sort of give them a real,
Mm.
value rather than phoning it in.
Yeah. Even when
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne joined Post Malone in one of
Mm.
the songs.
Was that
That's a really good.
Hollywood's Bleeding? Was that the
That's it.
song?
Hollywood Bleeding. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
tune.
I like the fact that Ozzy seems to have this autonomy of like, yeah, I'll go help you with that.
Yeah.
And he used to be like super like it felt like he had like an ear to the ground, even though he didn't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
But he could like sense when things were bubbling up and when people were doing really well for themselves. And there's also this sense of like the Osbournes kind of like created reality TV.
Yeah. They did. I'm not
And
gonna lie,
you know,
the TV series back in the day was hilarious.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's mental, isn't it? Like come into our house and just film us.
Yep.
That must have been such a risk at the time before like Big Brother and The Only Way is Essex and Love Island and all that sort of stuff nowadays.
Yeah. But the best part of that series is when obviously it came out, someone's been into my room and stolen my beers.
Yeah,
You're the beer thief.
yeah. It's Sharon. Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Awesome. In terms of financials, like we asked in part one, are you part of like people's Patreons or are you a Kickstarter person or an Indiegogo backer? Like, as well as going to the gigs, do you feel this need to support people further? Because there's a ridiculously successful podcast in the UK called Sappenin, which is Sean Smith and
Oh,
Morgan
Saturday, yeah,
Richards,
Saturday
and
podcast.
their Patreon's fucking crazy. They've got like
Mm,
700 backers.
bloody
And I'm
hell.
like, that's my bloody monthly wage.
So I'd
Yeah,
love to join lots of patrons.
yeah,
Obviously there's you, there's another podcast, there's other people as well. But if I join them and pay like even the smallest amount, say £5 a month, I'll be left more short of going to
yeah,
gigs. So
yeah,
I'll have to sacrifice gigs and staying
yeah,
home and helping the Patreon. So
yeah. Fair enough.
it's
Yeah,
difficult. So what I try and do is I try and help them out as much as I can. And if
yeah,
they ask for people to join, I'll give them a list. Or if they want me to join, I finally do it now. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think there's this weird sort of grey line where if you know the bands like in real life and you know them personally, that they are super grateful for everything that happens. But I never ever want to feel like I'm making people financially support me in any capacity. But it's
yeah,
obviously a huge benefit for people to be able to like help me buy an external hard drive or help me buy a
yeah,
better microphone or but I never ever want to feel like I'm begging.
yeah. That's
But it's
understandable.
it's weird. Like a lot of bands plug the fuck out of their merch nowadays, but a lot of that is just because that merch converts into fuel money. And I
Yeah,
get it. Like it's literally taking you to your next show. But
yeah,
there's also
100%.
there's also this weird thing as well with merch where a lot of venues now take 20 to 30% of the merch takings, which I think is absolutely abhorrently wrong
Yeah,
for a
that's
music venue
the
to do.
O2. I've realised the O2 like to take money.
Yeah.
Plus, it's also when you're buying a ticket to like say like Brixton Academy or O2 Arena or something, the charges, the service charges, the extras on top. It's like you're paying an extra like £15 on top, just on top of the ticket as well.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I just think that there needs to be like a level of transparency with stuff like that. Like we all obviously pay council tax in the UK, and I don't actually mind paying the council tax, but I'd quite like to know where it goes. And I think
Yes,
that
me too.
that's like the big thing where it's like service charge one, service charge two, admin
Hmm.
fee, and you're like, who the fuck, like, who's actually getting this money? Like, I don't
Yeah.
mind if it's the person that's holding the website up and, actively like doing the customer service stuff.
Mm.
But if it's just going into the back pocket of a CEO because he's feeling like he deserves an extra 2%, then I think there's a big problem with that in the UK just in general, where it's
Mm.
like duty tax and profit tax and but yeah, it can
Oh,
get a bit frustrating sometimes, especially if like Sleep Token announce a gig and it's gone.
oh yeah,
Like
100%.
literally sells out in like 4 minutes and you're like, fuck man, like because I didn't have the extra £6 for
Hmm.
Ticketmasters, But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to sound super negative, but it's like sometimes that can be like the reason why you can't go to a show is you don't have that excess made up
yeah. With
charge, you
like
know?
Ticketmaster now, if you want an actual ticket sent to your house, you've got to pay a souvenir tax or whatever you call it if you want the ticket. I'm like,
Yeah,
what? £3.50 if I want an actual ticket sent to me.
a bit mad, isn't it?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you
Crazy.
have like loads and loads of cork boards around? Like, do you have like a treasure trove of just tickets?
I've got a little pink box that I've had for about I got it when I was about 8. I got it for absolute yonks.
Yeah,
And I was going through like during lockdown, I was just literally going through getting rid of so much stuff, having a declutter because we are stuck home.
yeah,
I then found my pink box, emptied whatever junk I had in there, and decided to put all my gig tickets in there, all in order.
mm,
It's a bit full now, but again, we don't
yeah,
get much tickets now, so it's not going to get any more fuller anytime soon.
yeah,
But I do keep all my tickets. I keep all the set lists I get given, guitar picks,
mm,
and I keep a tally of all the bands I see live.
yeah. I think your Instagram's a really good sort of digital example of that as well, because everything is going electronic nowadays, isn't it? Rather than having
Yeah.
like a striking through the number five on a piece of
Mm.
paper. But yeah, I went to some gigs and Ticketmaster I'd accidentally put my initials as my first name. So I've got like 3 or 4 tickets that are Mr. Big Garbett because my initials are BIG. And I was like, oh man, that's like it's like when a company accidentally makes like a defect drink
Hmm.
and you're like, oh my God, like this could actually be quite funny to look back on in the future, sort of thing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Awesome. In terms of like, is Discord still a thing? That sounds like the most like insane boomer thing to ask. But like, are you in loads of Discord channels with certain
Um,
bands now?
I'm in one, I'm in 3 Discords,
Hmm.
4 Discords. One is a solo artist from the Isle of Wight. She's a solo singer. She's brilliant. And then the other three are Borrow Tomorrow, Beyond
Hmm.
Extinction, and Graphic Nature. That's it. And I can just about handle them because it's not too overwhelming and too chaotic to be part of and chat
Yeah,
now and again to the bands or to everyone else really.
I think Discord had it absolutely nailed down, especially during COVID when everyone was playing Among Us. But
Yeah.
the way it like segments each part of that community and it's like upcoming gigs or mental health chat, and it's like
Mm.
specific topics about specific chats. And I quite like that. But I got to a point where, like I said earlier, I really love Pokemon Go, and that was getting quite crazy because I was going abroad to play it,
Mm.
and my Discord started getting so noisy, I had to actually turn like the notifications off because I was just getting absolutely hammered constantly.
Yeah. That's
And
like with all the group chats I'm in. So
yeah,
they are, because the amount of gigs I go to, I'm trying to record all the notifications coming through and it's trying to record. I could just see them coming
yeah,
down and I don't know who's behind me.
yeah,
Someone
yeah,
could
yeah,
say something bad that someone behind me
yeah,
could see. So
yeah,
when I go to shows, they're all on mute.
yeah,
Because again, you don't know what can be said. It can be a bit chaotic. So
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes it feels like you're playing catch up as well. Like I still have this thing where because I'm quite deep into the podcast world, I send a
Mm.
lot of emails, I send a lot of DMs to people, and I try and book people and all that sort of stuff. And I always turn my Wi-Fi off at night. And one of the first things I do in the morning, which I hate, is I turn it back on like the second I wake up. And
Mm.
the amount of notifications that come through on my phone is like, fuck, I just don't want to like participate.
It's got to the point
Screen
where
time
even
and
on my
stuff, yeah.
Instagram now, because I'm becoming more and more followed and quite well known on Instagram. The notifications that come through, it's got to the point where I'm actually close to muting it when I'm at shows now because it's
Yeah.
just constant.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah.
how bands, when they are so famous, even band members who are really famous, how they can keep up with it all.
Yeah, you see a lot of like profiles on like the top right where it's like their DMs. It's like
Mm.
99 plus, and that would do my nutting for that.
Yeah.
I'd have to clear it down. But I can see why some people don't even think about going into I get loads of DMs from jewelry companies. Like we
Oh yeah,
really want to promote it.
the requests.
It's like if this is, 90 of my 99 DMs I'm not checking, then no wonder people don't check them.
Yeah, and I get them in the requests. I really want you part of my jewelry company. You've got no followers,
Yeah.
so
And no posts.
yeah,
Yeah.
no thanks.
And no
Block,
profile picture.
delete.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever had a moment where like a successful sort of band or a well-known musician has followed you back on Instagram as it made you go like, "Oh my God, what the fuck's going on?"
Yeah, enter Shikari.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
start following. I'm like, whoa, is this
Yeah.
an accident? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have quite a lot of bands following me who are becoming quite out there now, and I'm like, why are you following me?
Mm.
I don't go to a lot of your shows, or if I do. But yeah, I think Enter Shikari started following me after I saw them at Ali Pali, and I got some quite good recordings.
Mm.
Um, and after that, I just got followed, and I'm like, this is a mistake. But
Yeah.
no, they do reply to a lot of, if I tag them in stories, they do reply.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, quite cool.
Yeah, that's something notable, definitely. Yeah, they're one of the bands that I just seem to slip the net with, that I just never ever seem to manage to actually get them. Um, I went to see them just before COVID, and then obviously COVID killed it.
Mm.
But yeah, I'll have to make a conscious effort potentially next year because they seem a little bit elusive now.
Oh, do
Like,
you know what? Their
yeah,
shows blow my mind every time because I
yeah,
saw them at Wembley Arena last year, the before. Can't
hmm.
remember, but it was absolutely they brought Sam Ryder out. It was
All
mind
right,
blowing.
yeah, yeah,
The stage presence, just, yeah, unreal. I just came out the show absolutely pouring rain. Like,
yeah.
what did I just witness?
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah, apparently Rao is like super quiet off stage as well. Like he's the complete
yeah,
opposite to how he is on stage.
yeah.
But yeah, awesome. Yeah, I want to make a conscious effort to see them, and I want to see While She Sleeps
Oh yeah. So while
because
she's
just
they're
followed them
great
so long.
bands.
Yeah.
Um, so I saw them in New York back in April, and they were great live. I'm not gonna lie. Also they didn't have Matt, because obviously he's just become a dad. So they
Yeah.
had Ryan from Architects.
Mm.
He was okay. It wasn't Matt. The voice just wasn't the same. And
Yeah.
after Barrow Tomorrow played, a quarter of the venue left.
Right.
They didn't want to stay for Welsh Music, which was a shame.
Yeah.
Absolute shame that that happened.
Mm.
But they still put on a really good show, and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I see that a lot with like the sort of main support fatigue of I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm falling apart. If I go to a five band lineup, I'll
Mm.
probably miss the first band just because I ain't a spring chicken anymore. And yeah, I don't know. I need to like I think one of the things, and this is just my TikTok brain, is the length of changeover between bands now.
It was Welsh Music, Barrow Tomorrow, and Vended. So it was just
Yeah.
three bands. It Vended played a short set, because obviously they were opening. They were fantastic. Borrow Tomorrow, again, fantastic. But it was just, I don't know, it was just weird how there was a few people there going, Welsh Sleeps are not as good as they used to be, this and the
Mm.
other, which I can understand because obviously the latest album isn't their best work.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie, it's great, but it's not their best.
Yeah.
So I don't know the fans left because the new album's not great, or they're just not a fan of the show. I don't
Yeah.
know, but to me, they did put on a good show. But I just wish the fans stayed to
Yeah.
make it fuller,
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Yeah, it
especially
seems to
when they've
be
travelled so
set
far.
list. Yeah, it seems to be the sort of the running order of the
Hmm.
bands. The lineup seems to affect a lot of people's sort of. I've definitely felt guilty in the past of like showing up to a gig, like usually because of traffic. Like I'll only
Yeah.
watch like the main support and the headline, and then I'll be
Hmm.
gone. But a lot of that's out of my hands and out of my control. And also, if it's like a Wednesday night, it's like, fuck, man, I'm in the middle of Bristol and I need to get home and go to work Thursday
Hmm.
morning.
Yeah.
So, like, I would love to stick around and potentially grab a picture with the singer of Gojira, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen. And I need to get home and, you know,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
like
it's
any show.
tricky.
Like if it's like a during the week show, if you're at work all day and it's like you kind of want to get home quickly, change and go to the show,
Yeah.
or go straight from work, and it's all about like making the time for doors, making time for even missing the first band, and it's all about the traveling back
Mm,
after the show. It can be a bit
yeah.
crazy.
I always make note of the bands that I've missed though, and then I like check them out, and then potentially later down the line I might see them slightly higher up on another bill. And
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, right. So they're still, you know. So yeah, there's a lot to it, isn't there? But
Yeah.
yeah, I find the further afield I go, the less chance I have of actually watching the full five bands.
Yeah.
I do get a real rush from it, especially if it's like, finish work, like you say, get home, have a shower, get in the car, go, make sure I've got
Hmm.
enough fuel so I'm not fucking around on the way up. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it's good stuff. Awesome. Right, we've got a couple more questions, then I'm gonna leave you to it. Um, five essential items slash life hacks to take to a music festival for a whole weekend. What would you say has really helped you?
Well, my last full weekend camping festival was Download 2013. I'd say little first aid kit full of essentials, like plasters, migraine
Yeah,
things, paracetamol, ibuprofen, bike cream, because you never know with the mozzies what time of the year it is.
yeah.
Um, Tissues, maybe small tissues or bog roll.
Wet wipes?
Uh, yeah, wet wipes,
Yeah,
100%. Dry shampoo,
yeah,
especially if you've got long hair, sweating, greasy hair from headbanging the shit. Dry shampoo, elite. Um, Hydration tablets,
hmm,
like electrolytes, glucose, and the vitamins,
yeah,
because you're drinking alcohol, you're eating shite,
yeah.
sorry, rubbish,
No, fine.
and you're going all out singing, walking around the festival, jumping, moshing. You're going to lose out on a lot of sweat, and you could get potentially ill when you get back home.
Yeah,
So if you keep your electrolytes and vitamins up, just stick the sachets in the water or whatever, and get on with your day, really.
hmm,
Um,
fair enough.
and lastly, five, deodorant,
Deodorant.
deodorant,
Yeah.
the BO. Oh, no thanks. Yeah, deodorant, 100%.
The only thing I can think of adding to that list is I don't know if you've seen them, you probably have, they're in every supermarket, but there's little sachets or like squeezy things of like squash.
Yes,
And they're
they're great.
so good. They're so good as
Yeah.
well. Like if you're in a like airport and you need to get on a plane,
hmm
and they're just an absolute game changer because
I
otherwise you're
do.
carrying a bottle of squash around and a bottle of water around, and it's like, yeah,
So in my Pikachu backpack, which comes with me for big gigs if I'm doing overnight coach home, usually inside it I'll have a squash squeezer.
yeah,
Uh, if I at gigs, I'm not drinking because obviously I've got the coach home. I don't want to be drunk on the coach.
yeah,
So with the cups of water I have, squeeze a bit in there. Yeah,
yeah.
that way keep myself
How
hydrated.
about power banks to keep your devices
Oh,
charged?
100%. The thing is, I'd say with festivals, yeah, it's great to have your phone and record, but the signal's always dead. It's never always working properly. And
Yeah,
truthfully, I'd say get one of the cheapy phones that can just text.
yeah,
And that way, leave your smartphone at home in case you lose it, because nowadays phones have got your wallet on it,
Hmm.
it's got personal details on it,
Hmm.
and most phones now getting shipped across the world now once it's been stolen or lost. So I'd say leave your smartphone at home, and those you do plan to meet up at the festival, take their number down and just text on their cheapy phone and just go and have a good time.
Yeah. Well, news for you at Teddy Rocks is mobile data doesn't exist, so you have to text, even
Yeah.
if you've got the brand new iPhone. It
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, good advice. Yeah, if anyone wanted to hear that, then ready for next year's festival season and all that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
Have you got any more gigs planned this year? We've got nearly 5 months left now.
Currently on my notes on my phone, I have the 2025 gig list. I do have quite a few coming up, and my next one is now not until the 16th of August, where it'll be in Brighton for Life is Music Festival. And then the weekend after that will be there's a weekend festival thing called Echelon versus Acadian in Cambridge. And then there's a couple of little shows in between before Burn It Down Festival,
Hmm.
which I'm 50-50 on because there's also London Metal Coalition Festival at the end of the month as well. So it's a big clash, and I can't split myself in two to go to Torquay or stay in London. So I've got to figure out where I'm going.
Yeah. Where is Burn It Down, sorry?
Torquay.
Torquay. Yeah, I think at one point that was in Plymouth or Portsmouth. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. This is going back a bit
Okay.
because some of my
Yeah,
friends got to play that. Yeah,
yeah, that was quite a while ago. I think it was. I think, yeah, Plymouth or Portsmouth. I remember it beginning with a P.
yeah,
I can't remember
yeah,
where. It was so long ago.
yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's hard to keep up,
Hmm.
but yeah. Um, do you prefer going to single gigs or do you prefer going to music festivals and then just sort of being, encapsulated in 3 days?
It depends on the festival or the gig. And obviously with the single gig, it depends on the venue, and the lineup. So I recently went to one last night in Signature Brew. Fantastic. But because it wasn't a crowded show, it was a bit empty. So it was wasn't the best shows, but it was still good. But I went to Underworld on Tuesday for Bane and Grove Street, Still
Mm,
in Love, and Supernova. Proper hardcore show, absolutely packed out to the brim, and it was really good fun. But festival wise, I find big festivals too overwhelming,
mm,
too much. I'm not a camping girl no more.
mm.
I'm not gonna lie, I am too old for that now. Um, but I'd say the smaller festivals at the moment, the best festival this year I have been to was a 2-day festival in Birmingham called The Sanctum. From start to finish, no clashes, fantastic lineup, fantastic sound, great organisation. I literally cannot fault it whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah,
The smaller festivals I find a lot more on point.
yeah. Did you go to Hammerdown as well?
I did, yes, that's
I
where
need
I
to
fractured
speak
my finger.
to need to speak to Harry actually, getting him on as well. Got too
So
much going on, Vicky. It's oh
Harry from
yeah.
Hammerdown, he is the most sweetest guy,
Mm,
absolutely hardworking guy.
mm,
I did have a couple little criticism for his festival that can be easily be tweaked and sorted out. But
mm.
other than that, he was happy with my little critique, and he's taken it on board and ready for the Hammerdown Open Air next year that he has planned.
Awesome. Is that Brighton?
Horsham next year, Horsham
Yeah.
Rugby Club.
Okay. Yeah, I find Brighton's this like crazy hotbed of just musical activity at the moment, and
Yeah,
I only live like 2.5 hours
unfortunately,
away.
it
So
was chaotic because you had the Trans Pride parade
yeah.
thing, and then you had the On the Beach festival at the same time. Plus, obviously, chalk and
Mm,
dust were hammered down, so it was absolutely chaotic. You know, no one could find parking.
Mm.
Parking in here was ridiculously expensive, and it was only for a couple of hours. Um, so, and it was like the accessibility situation, which was a pain for
Yeah.
some, and plus there was no signage to say where each venue was and the timings. So when one band finished on the main stage, on the second stage, the next band started immediately. There was no time for people to
Yeah.
get round to catch the beginning
Yeah.
of the next band. So it was a shame that I had to miss either the last song of the main band or miss the first song of the next band.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's tricky to
Yeah,
get that right.
yeah.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into a music festival though that's like a band might have to cut their set short or,
So I
yeah,
like the Sanctum, how it's organised, because I am planning to put my own festival one day, possibly next year.
awesome.
I have it all organised and planned out where it's accessible, it's a safe space. Like, so if it was like a a 2 stage festival, it won't be. But if it was, I'd make sure there's 5 minutes after the band to get
Yeah.
people round to the next stage. Um, and just ensuring that it's a safe space, make sure there's plenty of time for a changeover,
Yeah.
making sure there's plenty of like food and drink spaces for people to sit down and get a takeout or whatever they want. And yeah, just making sure it's good fun, basically.
One festival I might go to next year, and now that I've said it, I have to do it because podcasts are a nightmare for that when you just say stuff and never actually commit, is I might actually make an effort to go to Bloodfest.
Yes, I want to
Because
go.
I think they've done 2 years now and they've
Yes.
probably ironed out all of the kinks of the first one because the first anything is going to be rough,
Yeah.
you know.
So the
But
first one
yeah,
was great, but he then extended it to make it a bit bigger this year, and it
right.
still went down amazing. And I was like, my few of my friends went, and I was like, I have to go next year because
Yeah.
I heard nothing but praise, good stuff about it.
Hmm. Yeah, I do like Youngblood. He's another person that I've never actually seen live and just a myriad of reasons behind that. And yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm planning to see them or him at some point. But yeah, all in good time. But yeah, awesome. All right, last question. Bit of a self-indulgent one. Have you got any questions for me at all?
uh, I haven't. There was one which just went my mind. I'd say, what's what would you want for the future for your podcast?
As
Like,
in theme or
yeah, like where would you want to go in the future? Where would you want your podcast to take you?
I've wrestled with this quite a lot and I don't think I've actually been asked this yet, but I struggle between like super serious interviews and like casual like would you rather questions. But I just find that that's quite saturated in the UK
Yeah,
market where two white people get together and just talk shit for an hour. And
yeah,
sometimes it's like, fuck it, how many of these can there be? And like, this is already a very noisy ocean of craziness and, you know. But
yeah,
to answer your question, I like interviewing people. I think I'm quite good at it at this point.
yeah,
Um, but I kind of want to go like really deep and just like sort of psychologically figure out how people's sort of mind works.
yeah,
But getting people like Jordan Peterson and Gary Vee and Chris Williamson from Modern Wisdom podcast, they're all like super, super like high tier people, and it's almost impossible for me to be able to actually get any sort of fuel behind that fire just
yeah,
because the podcast still isn't quite at that level yet.
yeah,
So I always find with musicians, they've always got something to promote, and it's quite a transactional thing where I can help them and they can help me, and I get bands like Punk Rock Factory respond to me and
yeah,
stuff, and that's cool. But I don't really know. I'm kind of learning as I go. Podcast is quite a loose format, really, because
yeah,
one of my only things with it is I like for it to be an hour long.
yeah,
Because I've seen a lot of podcasts that kind of cheat the system and they do like a 15-minute podcast. And because they do such small podcasts, they can do so
mm,
many a week. So
yeah,
they can do like six a week, whereas I'm doing like one every 2 weeks. So
yeah.
I don't know if that's sort of algorithmic decision. But I do enjoy
Practice,
speaking to musicians though.
yeah. So practice makes perfect. You know, things take time. And you know, this is my first podcast interview, and you've made me feel so comfortable and welcome,
Awesome.
and I appreciate it. So thank you.
That's all right, no worries. But yeah, watch this space. Trying to diversify a little bit more.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just find that musicians, because I used to be one, and I understand the struggle and the networking that people
Yeah,
seem to sort of flock to me. And I'm now in quite a fortunate position where bands are sort of asking me, which is quite a nice position to be in, that the work's actually coming to me rather than me reaching out to them.
that's good.
But yeah,
That's good.
awesome. Well, it's been lovely speaking to you, and maybe if you go to Teddy Rocks or through the random adventures of the internet and, you know, circumstance and coincidence, we might see each other at some point in real life.
Yes. Well, I'm
But yeah.
thankful for Sam from Shields for
Hmm.
sending you my way years ago, and
Yeah.
I'm here today finally doing the podcast. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah. All good. All right.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thank you very
Speak to you
much.
soon.
See you
Cheers.
soon.